Good evening, everybody. I'm sorry I have to speak as a social activist as well as a churchman, because I do believe, like the Pope, you have to look after some political things in the country, saying things that's not going wrong. Well, the Irish people have spoken, and can Andy Kenny not get into his head? People are not accepting mortar charges. But I see headed the thing getting £2 million. You think that they must think they're idiots. You're not in a primary school now, and I don't know whether they're any good as a primary teacher, to be honest with you. But what your talents were, I don't know. But they're very good at telling lies. And we can all tell lies if we want to. We can all be sinners, but I do feel you want to be honest with the people and give the job up. Let another leader take over, or else let it to the left parties, because most people in Ireland are struggling, and your policies are going nowhere, because in the EC you have to be competitive to survive. You don't rise wages, you get costs down, and you have too many minuses against you. The state here, like the pay people for doing something which I'd near take them as traitors. All Irish water people. I think it's a disgrace that an act isn't passed, that nobody gets anything, because they weren't accepted. They should know it was a dodgy job to do. If I was doing that job, I'd feel I shouldn't be doing it. So should we not be paid any taxpayers' money? Just get rid of the whole lot. An act of Parliament can do it. If you have the power, you can do it. It's time you spoke up to Europe too, because you'll soon have to think of getting out of it. All's going to the plan in my head, which is going Britain's voting, and if they vote out, you're going to have to think very fast, and you're going to have to leave the common market, because it's too big for us. We can't compete in it. The good days of free eggs and there's no such thing as a free bun or a free breakfast. In a sense, the common market, we're going to have to look, whatever Britain does, we're going to have to follow. I didn't think the voting was going to be as quick. I was certain I would have given you any bets last year to say we'd be voting. I didn't think we'd be voting this quick in Britain. But if Scotland doesn't vote, well, that'll be their own hard luck, because their oil is not such a great resource as it is, because there's a new fuel now in the world market. It'll be hitting here soon. It's called Mexican oil, and there's quite a lot of big men investing in that. So Scottish oil, I think you must put your tail between your legs in Scotland, unfortunately. The British Isles could work as a unit. It wouldn't be the best, but it's a lot better than the EC, because we can't compete in it. We want to get rid of value-added tax, all these bloody things, and paying to keep the EC buildings going. It's ridiculous. Sure, it stands to sense it's going to cost more money. So if you're trying to form a government, I don't think you're fit to at the moment on your seats, because it won't last. I wouldn't even give it 12 months. I'm sorry for you, in a way, as a Christian, but you reap what you sow. You're too headstrong, and you have no, you weren't fit for the job. You might be good men, don't get me wrong. You're not good enough. And that's the answer I say. You're not fit for that hot seat. And your government, even in Fianna Fáil, I have to say, they weren't fit to deal with Europe. You need a very, very strong person. Now, to be honest with you, there's a lot of good men on the left that would be good, but Jerry Adams should be given a chance. There's a ceasefire on here. I don't want to hear about what happened yesterday, you or your great-grandfather did or didn't do. It's what's going to happen from today, and we're talking about from the 10th of March, what's going to happen in this country. By keeping Irish water, it's a dead duck. And paying a man £2 million, do you know something? And, oh God, keep me patience, and keep the Irish people's patience. The paying those redundancy money, that must be stopped. I don't care who's listening to me, because I wouldn't take a job in a red area like that. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous job. So anyone took that, the taxpayer shouldn't be paying any redundancy to them. They should get the job out if they're fit to get the job in the free market with the other government. I know there's a couple of thousand people, yeah, but it's a dead duck. It's not making money, like, if you look at it. And it's not going to make money because people's not going to pay. And you can do what you like. So your best plan now is, and you haven't listened to the people, get out when the going's good. Because it mightn't be as good in another year. What I see in my golden picture. So I say, Andy, get out, give up, and even if you have to go back to the people, get rid of Irish water at all costs. Now, you should not have to pay that competition. If you're the government, you can make an act and you can stand up to Europe for once in your life. And we get our country running. We trade with Britain, fortunately or unfortunately, but I do feel it's the best option. And I see it, and I'm never far wrong. I remember in the university years ago, stating this bloke, I says, we're heading for the United States of Europe. Sit down, you idiot, you. I reported to the professor at the time. He was a weak, I'm not going to say the department he was in, but he was weak. He said he was weak. I could see all that coming. And that would have been all right in the United States of Europe if there was one welfare system, central, paid for everybody. But there's people getting through out of jobs. It's a rat race. And I know in Ireland, we are not competitive. We might be taking in companies and they're dodging tax and getting away with it or whatever it is, but it's not going to last. You have a crash like they expected it won't be this year, I wouldn't think. Irish Money Fund is even talking about it, but it will likely be in 2017. And when it comes, it's a big world crash, so we want to get ready. In Europe, Britain's on the right move. He won't admit, Cameron, that he's wrong. He wants to be like Pontius Pilate. Oh, you make the decision. Right. Because Britain will survive out of the EC. And trading will work. And Ireland, we should work in smaller blocks and be thankful. Where we could get rid of value-added tax too. And I think they need to look seriously at the thing. They're paying too many councillors also, paid wages. That's the thing. And your own wages are ridiculous. A Taoiseach getting over 100,000 a year, it's ridiculous. Because if you look at Spain and Portugal, it's less than 100,000. I think it's roughly 100,000 euros he gets in Spain. Portugal's about 80, something like that. I'm not going to give exact figures, and I don't have to give exact figures. That's bull about saying I have to give exact figures to anybody when you're interviewing them. Because if you know how to think, I have an uncle. He's dead now, and he made an awful lot of money in the north of England. He's the biggest garage in it with another gentleman. And I remember him always saying to me mother, my mother was called Ruby, and he'd say, Ruby says, you don't need, she said, no, man, you're some boy, how are you working all this? Accountants, 10 a penny. So the same with Jerry Adams, hitting, nailing, like things like that, talking about what he done or he didn't do. It's what happens from the day that matters. I have a brother that's a counsellor, and in late life we learned to do this, and he takes people, maybe from Simon, I don't know personally what they are, but they're there, and he could keep you 2 hours. And he says, to come into the door, if they're murdered, it doesn't matter. You have to show them mercy if they're going to make a new start. And that's what we need to do. This Ireland, we have to wake up. I know tribal politics is still here, it's not gone, and it will destroy both parties joining together. Maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll be bad. The local candidates we have here, they're not bad, just the parties they represent is the problem. Sinn Féin offers the best here, and a few of the independents are very good. That Mr. Weldon in the dock, he would be good. He want a man that's going to look after the working people, because at the end of the day, most people will be retiring and things are going bad, so that's my opinion. And the Christian opinion is you look after everybody and you try to treat people as equal as you can, because on the last day we're all equal. When we go up there before our Lord, we won't be bishops or whatever we are, we'll be all held to account. And I just wish this government was held to account. But I would be very severe if I was in a dictatorship. I have to say I'd be too severe, because I would it wouldn't be Christian what I'd be wanting to do with them. I wouldn't be wanting to waste money keeping them in prison. I would just be the end of the story. If they don't get out, paying pensions to those TDs has to be stopped. And if someone takes that initiative, we could have a good country. You're going to say I'm mad, but think about it. The good days are over. And think of the next life. But think of your fellow man. It's now Lent, love God and all this. Your heart and your soul. And corporal works of mercy, spiritual works of mercy. You can read up on it yourself. You're not a stupid people, Ireland. I'm not speaking like 30 years ago or 40 years ago when people were the school is down. But wake up. Vote left. I'm telling you now, if you want to survive, get out of these the earliest opportunity. It's too big. And try and be honest. If you don't first succeed, get Ireland back to be a land of saints and scholars instead of being snakes and scholars or whatever you want to call it. It's not good at the moment. So let's hope we all come to their senses. And water charges cannot be paid by the most of the people. I know myself. There's too many charges on now, and it has to stop. The big man taxed it better. So I would leave it to the skillful men on the left, with some very good talent on the left. Not a good one in Fianna Fáil. I like Michael McGrath, to tell you the truth, and I spoke to him. But when you're in a party that thinks of the big man, you're overwhelmed. And that happened, I suppose, with Mr. O'Dowd. He was a very nice gentleman, but it seems that Enda didn't listen to him. And he said it wasn't right, 11 people couldn't pay. Enda, you have to go, and go while you can. It'd be my advice to you, because I don't think you'll be going. If you want to live and enjoy your life, you'd be better to go now. And you'll only rack your brains with a mental breakdown or something. It's up to yourself, Enda. Choice is yours. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm just friendly advice. And for the patient, the good of the nation. If you're not, the policies are not for the good of the nation, they're for the well-off and the big boys that's giving handouts and all this. So God bless you all. I love to be hard-hitting.